Welcome back to Open BXRx. The Migrant Center NY provides affordable and pro bono immigration services to New Yorkers in need. Now, here to discuss immigration under the Biden administration, DACA, and provide immigration resources and services is Father Julian Jagudilla, Executive Director of the Migrant Center NY. Father Julian, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Of course, absolutely. So, first, please tell us about the Migrant Center of New York and your mission.
Okay. The Migrant Center of New York actually started as a ministry of the church to provide assistance to our immigrant brothers and sisters. So we started way back in 1999 in a different name, but under my leadership in 2013, we rebranded and we renamed and we expanded our services for the Migrant Center. But we continued the same tradition of welcoming people, regardless of their, ethnic origin or religion, to the center, and we provide the same services for them. That is, free or affordable legal assistance, education, and advocacy.
Wonderful. And what are some of those specific services and resources that you've been able to provide the immigrant community, especially during the pandemic that we're in?
Okay, so we provide immigration assistance that is in the form of representation by our lawyers here. Affordable in a sense, and I think that's a very important term that we have to emphasize to our friends, is that affordable means we base the charges on the person's income. If the person is coming from the shelters, we normally provide a pro bono service. But we want people to be part of the solution of their situation by, providing something for themselves in the form of a very affordable, low bono services or fees. And we do representation through our volunteer lawyers. Education, because we saw that it's not enough to provide services.
Right.
It is also very important that we raise, the immigrants and the public's level of awareness as to what's going on in the country, especially with the immigration laws of the U.S. that we're dealing with.
Right.
Sometimes, or most of the time, it's not friendly. It's not friendly to immigrants. And of course, we advocate for the rights and welfare of immigrants across the board.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing, Father. And just as a side note, these services are offered in many languages, or is it just in English?
Primarily for now, we offer services in English, Spanish, and in French or Creole.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. And with changes in this administration, a lot of people can now apply for the first time for DACA. Father, can you share what this means for the community and how the Migrant Center can help through your DACA campaign?
Okay, we have two things to be clear here. Number one, we offer free legal assistance. What is that? That is, we provide free consultation with our lawyers. So the campaign is developing, and we're looking for funding and possibly offer 100% total assistance to dreamers. So our assistance comes in a form of renewal for those who are already holding DACA, and for the first time applications. So we offer free legal consultation with our lawyers. That's the first stage of the campaign. Now we're hoping to develop further and really help them through the process.
Got it. And can you also tell us about your 40-hour immigration course? What does it entail exactly, and how can people sign up for it?
Okay, I have a flyer. I hope you'll see the flyer. To sign up, email us or call us at the Migrant Center. The way I would describe the U.S. immigration laws, it's like an ever-changing landscape. It depends on those in power or the administration. We saw a drastic change during the time of the Obama administration, and then we saw another dramatic change during the time of the Trump administration. Now with Biden, we have so much promise here, but it's very important that we have a basic understanding of the immigration laws so that we can truly advocate for the rights and welfare of immigrants. So it is a 14 Tuesday, 2 hour each session, online course on immigration taught by supervising lawyer of the Legal Aid Society. And it's very good. It's very effective. It's very clear. He's a great teacher, and we've had him for almost, I should say, 8 classes now.
Father, are these courses being offered in person or virtually at the time?
It's an online virtual classes.
Okay. And if you can share some of the other courses that the Migrant Center NY offers as well for anyone listening now and interested in inquiring about more.
Okay. One of the things that we tried is to bring the Migrant Center to the consciousness of the public. And one of the things that we did in the past, which we discontinued this year, we're actually entering our, believe, 8th year. We used to have an international an independent film festival.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And of course, before the pandemic, we had it every year. We were about to enter our 8th year of the film festival. The focus of the film festival was human rights. And we saw that migration is a human right. So all the themes and the subject of our film shown during the film festival is about human rights, about people's right to migrate. So we had that for the past 7 years, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't hold it this year. We also celebrate major events such as, International Day for Migrant Workers. We also celebrate the International Human Rights Day. We celebrate Migrants Day. Whatever I would say topics or major celebrations that we have here, we would have an event here for the sole purpose of raising the public's awareness of these topics.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And we're also glad to have you here with us, sharing with our Bronxites the importance of, staying informed and educated on all these things. A lot of times the information can be a lot for folks, and they need the assistance and the services that you offer. So thank you.
And if you are willing to partner with us, we're planning to hold a series of session on an info session on the Biden's immigration reform. What happened was that immediately, the weekend right after Joe Biden was inaugurated as president, I was inundated with phone calls, texts, emails from our undocumented or out of status immigrant brothers and sisters saying, do I qualify now? So there is, number one, we have to recognize that there is a need. People are excited. This might sound negative, but this is true. People who are out of status are desperate. Number one is to find, a job, a legitimate job with a livable salary. Right. They've been here in this country for a long time. Some of them 15, 25, 30 years. They haven't seen their loved ones. They cannot go home. So hopefully there's a pathway to citizenship for them or to become legal here. But here's one thing that we have to be careful. Because of the excitement, because of the desire to have a legal stay in this country, they will seek all avenues of information. Right. And sometimes they become victims of notarial fraud. I have seen that, I have heard that. When I went out into the communities to organize, people are saying, well, this person took my money and I haven't heard from him anymore. This person asked me for, took my money saying that he's going to apply for asylum for me and now he couldn't be found. Remember, our immigrant brothers and sisters who are out of status are working 2-3 jobs to survive. And I think it's sinful and immoral for somebody to take advantage of them. The only way we can do is to empower them, to know their rights, and to help protect them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Father, for sharing that. It is true that fraud is at an all-time high, especially during the pandemic as well. People are not only desperate for information, but also financially, there's a high unemployment rate and folks are struggling right now. So it's a very sad and scary situation, but I'm glad that people can count on the Migrant Center to provide honest and trustworthy services.
Yeah. What we encourage our brothers and sisters who are without status now is you need to connect with legitimate organizations that we can give them, sure information. So people who got in touch with me and with us, I said, yeah, hold off a little bit, wait a while. We're going to have an info session on this proposed immigration reform or bill, so that you would know what's coming, and you would know what would benefit you, and you would hear it from a trusted source.
Right. Well, we love to partner with the Migrant Center to make this happen. I'm going to keep in touch and we're going to keep our viewers in touch as well. Thank you, Father. Before we
Thank
go, folks are listening and they're anticipating you to share information. So can you just share how people can stay in touch with the Migrant Center and provide any numbers or emails and contact information?
Our number here at the Migrant Center, it's 212-736-8500, extension 305 or 377. We are located at the Church of St. Francis of Assisi in Midtown Manhattan. The address is 135 West 31st Street. We're between 6th and 7th Avenues in Manhattan, New York City. We are accessible to all train lines and public transportation. Our email address is migrantcenter@stfrancisnyc.org.
Thank you so very much, Father Julian, for joining us today.
It's a pleasure to talk to you.
A great
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you again. Father Julian Jagudilla is the executive director of the Migrant Center NY. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back here on Open BXRx.